Hi, this is Rod Faulkner, and you are listening to the 7thmatrix.com Eye on Sci-Fi podcast. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 154 of the 7thmatrix.com Eye on Sci-Fi podcast. The podcast where we share with you terrific indie, science fiction, and fantasy, online short films and web series, as well as conversations with interesting producers, directors, actors, authors, and other creators who are producing outstanding indie speculative work. Thank you for joining me, and in this episode, I have a pretty cool sci-fi short film to share with you entitled GREYS, directed by Henry Hobson. And also, GREYS features appearances by actors Taye Diggs and Michael Ironside. As the short film opens, it opens on a pretty ominous note. You see a large black SUV that is driving down a pretty rural highway on a very overcast and dreary day. A young man by the name of Lawrence is the passenger in this SUV who is being driven by Colonel Wilkes, portrayed by Michael Ironside. And Colonel Wilkes, as it turns out, was a colleague of Lawrence's late father, who has died under very mysterious circumstances. And Lawrence is seeking answers concerning the circumstances surrounding his father's death. Colonel Wilkes promises Lawrence that at the end of their destination, he will receive the answers that he has been seeking about what happened to his father. As Lawrence and Colonel Wilkes arrived at their destination, it is an extremely ordinary-looking farmhouse. But when they enter into this farmhouse, it quickly becomes apparent that this is a facade for a covert government agency. They enter into an elevator that descends miles deep within the earth. And when those elevator doors open, they are in an underground lab. Colonel Wilkes then proceeds to take Lawrence to this array of what I can only describe as pretty futuristic looking hazmat suits. And he instructs the young man to put on one of the suits and make sure that he does not take off the heavily padded gloves that come with the suit, as he is about to escort him into a pretty restricted area. So, as Lawrence puts on the suit and the helmet that has this pretty cool looking heads-up display that is used to monitor his vitals, and also he is able to communicate with an individual that is shrouded in observation and control room off to the side where he can't be seen. And as it turns out, this mysterious individual is a man by the name of Sergeant Crew, who is portrayed by none other than Taye Diggs. After, again, Lawrence puts on the hazmat suit, he enters into a completely pitch black dark section of the lab. And there, he has an encounter that will change his life forever, and also possibly the destiny of the entire planet. Now, I can't give away exactly what happens because that would be spoilers, but suffice to say it is very intense and gripping. GREYS is a very short sci-fi film, and I believe that it was intended to be a proof of concept for either a television series or a full-length feature. And I don't know if that will ever come to fruition because we all know how Hollywood development hell can eat up projects that are never seen again. But on its own, it is so well made, and it has a pretty compelling story that is filled with mystery and suspense. So I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it, and I believe you all will too. And it's also pretty cool to see Taye Diggs and Michael Ironside on screen together in a project. Of course, a link to where you can watch GREYS in its entirety will be included in the show notes of this episode. Just visit the7thmatrix.com and you will be directed to episode 154, and you will find the show notes on the show notes page. Also, not only will you find the show notes of this episode, but our archive of show notes from all of our other previous episodes as well. While you're visiting the7thmatrix.com, I encourage you to check out all of the other short films and web series that we've curated there. I also need to ask you to visit our support section because it is your support that enables us to continue our work here at the Eye on Sci-Fi podcast and over at the7thmatrix.com, and we do appreciate it. Also, please make sure to sign up for our podcast episodes that are released every Monday wherever you get your podcast. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Amazon Music. And while you're signing up, leave us a review and rating because that does help others find us, and we appreciate that a great deal too. Well, that's it for this episode, everyone. Thank you again for joining me, and until the 7th Matrix portal reopens, stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, take a break, escape the mundane, and enter the fantastic. Until next time, take care.